Well, a box came in the mail and you know what that means. It's time to do another fun thing today. Hey guys, welcome back. Salty Flyer, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for dropping by. So I got a box in the mail. So it's something we're gonna do today. So some things on the bike you do for comfort. The seat, the handlebars. Some things on the bike you do for performance. The exhaust, the tune, the intake. And sometimes you just do stuff because it looks cool, okay? So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna replace the floorboards, the shifter peg, excuse me, I don't run a heel toe on this one. Shifter peg and the brake pedal with some cool stuff I got from Flo Motorsports MX style floorboards and shift peg and brake pedal. So why are we doing it? I don't know, because I just want to complete the look of the bike, and we'll show you what those look like in just a second. So the bike starts out life with the streamliner boards on it, and that's fine. I mean, honestly, once upon a time, that used to be one of the, you know, the collections, like the Adversary or the Kahuna. There was the streamliner, and that was one of the collections you could buy. And then it just sort of became the stock floorboard for the touring bikes. I want to say like 2018 or something. It's been a minute. They've been on there quite a bit. So nothing wrong with them. Perfectly fine. I don't ride the bike at the track. It's not like I'm going to lean over and my foot's going to slide off or nothing. This is purely because I think it looks cool and I like a little bit of that performance bagger aesthetic. Words are hard. So we're going to get those off. We're going to change out the foot peg, the shifter peg, the brake pedal, and the floorboards. But first we're going to do a not unboxing because I don't do that. I don't see the appeal of people watching you with a razor blade opening a box. But I will get everything unpacked. We'll just kind of see what they all look like on the ground, and then we will get started putting them on. All right. Okay, so we got them out of the package, and let's take a look-see at what we have. There we are. Cool. Those look really neat. So this is the brake pedal pad. You can see those little chompers on there, and they're all removable, apparently. This is going to be the shift peg right here, and then both floorboards. And for comparison purposes, they are at least as long, if you look, as the stockers. So it's going to give you plenty of room on the old feet there, but they seem like they're pretty considerably light. So hopefully this should be a pretty easy gig. So let's get some tools and then let's get started. Okay, so we've gotten the old shift peg off. It was actually an aftermarket one. It was this guy right here from Thrash and Supply, which is a very quality part. If you can see it right here, I just didn't want to, I want everything to match. So I'm gonna swap this out. I'll save this. I have a friend who's getting thrashing boards anyway, so this should be pretty good. So here's the peg. And it looks like it's just gonna go where the screw is gonna drop all the way through and get in there. So you're gonna need a longish, Allen bolt to get in there. This might be long enough. We're gonna get that rigged, and then I'm gonna just put a tiny drop of blue Loctite on there, because I may ever want this to come off at some point in my life, and get that started threading. And remember, once you get it started, you'll have a little bit of time as it goes in, but you're gonna wanna figure out kind of how you want this peg positioned. I think I'm gonna go parallel to the shift arm. Get that tightened down. There you go. That really, truly couldn't have been easier. So there you go, she's on there. So that was pretty straightforward. Now we're gonna work on the brake pedal side. So the first thing we're gonna do to get it off is there is a 1/2" nut on the back of the brake pedal holding it on. And I think once that comes off, then the whole existing brake pedal assembly slides off, and then we'll work on getting the next one on. All right, so if you look, we'll just get real quick look here. Right there is the pedal we're talking about. There, the 1/2" bolt. So we'll get that off, and then we'll get the pedal off. So here we go. A big washer, acorn nut, and there we go. So you got the rubber pad and the rubber pad here, and then you've got the little base that holds it in place. So that's off now. We've got just this flat bit here to attach the new pedal to. So we've gotten the plate on, and it just took a little bit of gentle persuasion with the vinyl end of this mallet just to get it to fit over the brake bit there. Maybe the powder coating on the pedal might have just been a little thick or there. If it doesn't fit too, you could also probably just take a little bit of sandpaper and give that just a little quick job radiusing. So now I'm using the included hex nut that came with it to screw that back on in place and get that locked down with those washers, and we'll see how that fits. So we got that just about on there, and that is looking good. So there. So unfortunately, because I didn't decide to get the whole brake pedal replacement, as cool and hollow as that brake pedal pad looked in there, I'll show you another shot of it in a second here. As cool as that looked in the package, unfortunately, it fits over the flat bit of the brake pedal arm, which is that big flat metal piece. So you're not gonna be able to see through it the way you do through the floorboards and through the foot pegs there. You're just gonna get that kind of the spiky look. It looks good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks really sharp, but it's gonna be black on the inside there. So what you may wanna do, being as how that piece is underneath, excuse me, that piece has been underneath the other brake pad, is maybe wanna give that a quick wipe down. I don't know how fastidious you are. I mean, you are gonna put your boot on it, so there's that. Cool. So I think we're good on the brake pedal pad and the shifter. Now we're gonna set up shop and start working on the floorboards. So there it is now installed. You can see what I mean there where it's not going through there like that. However, that looks pretty solid. Of note, I just had a hilarious realization that from where this will be for the people, because from where I sit on the bike, I won't be able to see it looking down because the heavy breather's in the way. Oh well, whatever. All right, so now we're gonna try to take the floorboard off. We'll start on the right-hand side here just because that's where the camera's set up. And we'll get this guy off. So you can flip it up and you can see underneath, there's just basically 2 bolts holding it through the mounting brackets. We'll take the back bolt off first and then the front, and then we'll lift it off. We're gonna use the same mounting brackets and the same hardware. They didn't, I don't believe, I'm looking in the box, but I don't think they provide any hardware other than some extra crush washers that we'll put on for spacing. So it is going to be a 7/16 wrench and a 3/16 Allen. So we'll get the back bolt off. We'll get the back bolt off first and see what we do. Be careful on this rear bolt, on this side especially, of your heat shield. So what I'm probably going to do is just hold in place and with the Allen and start working the bolt off, the nut off with the wrench, using the box end, just because that way I don't have to twist the Allen key and potentially break the wrench or scratch up the heat shield. Over to you.
2 hours later.
1 nut and 1 bolt. All right. So that's cleared out. Save that because we're going to reuse that guy later, and we'll get the front one out. Okay, so the board is off. This is the stock Harley running board. This is the stock Harley running board, and then this is the Flo Motorsports one. So you can see here, if I move back, that they're basically the same size. If you line up the mounting points, the Flo is a little bit bigger in the back, so a little bit more room for your heel. Also, feels quite a bit lighter, so maybe that's a good thing. So we'll try to get this guy on. Thankfully, they actually engrave on it, in the corner here, you'll see RF, so right front. So that tells you that this board goes on this side and fits here. So let's dry fit this. There you go. And there are crush washers in the diagram that came with it that tell you how to put that on. So let's get those out. It is 2 crush washers on the front side of the rear bolt. Everything I've read says do the rear bolt first. So literally the only instructions say to do that. So we will make sure that on the forward side of the rear mount, we're going to put 2 crush washers on the inside there. They come in a bag. They come in a bag, and they have themselves some cool swag. I got a lot of Flo Motorsports stickers now, so that's cool. So these are wave washers. I think they're just kind of designed to be spacers. We'll get those on. We'll get this first one on. All right, so I now know very clearly why they say to put the rear bolt on first. Because it's a smidgen of the fiddliness. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put these two stacked wave washers together. We're going to put the bolt through. We're going to put the bolt through partially, slide those in, put the bolt through all the way and get the nut on. And we'll show you when we're done because I need two hands and all of my brains. Okay, so we're back. Got the rear bolt and nut assembly on. I'll be honest with you, it was a lot more tricky than it looked with the wave washers that it comes in the package of stack. They act like a spacer. The best way you can do it is there's a little kind of rubber grommet almost on the mounting bracket on the motorcycle side. I kind of got those on there, hung them kind of there, and then slid the floorboard over it and then slipped the bolt through and just kind of fiddled till it was all aligned. So a little tricky, but we got it done. So we're gonna put this bolt and nut on through the front bracket. There it is, the right side done. So we're on to the left-hand side here, and we got the back bolt on, and I'm not gonna lie to you, there are some cuss words that haven't come down from orbit yet. For whatever reason, this back bolt with those spacers, the two little spacer washers that they want you to put on there, they did not want to, the bolt did not want to pass through all of that business. So, after laying on the ground for a few minutes, rethinking my choices in life, wondering, were the old floorboards really that bad? We gave one more of the old college try, and we got it on there. So hopefully the front bolt should be a lot easier. And it is. And we'll get these guys buttoned up. It says 15 to 20 foot-pounds. Funnily enough, if you have an inch-pound torque wrench handy, that's 180 inch-pounds. So your fun fact of the day, because my foot-pound torque wrench is currently on loan to the American Museum or my buddy, so I torque these down with an inch-pound torque wrench sent to 180 pounds. It goes up to 200 inch-pounds, but 12 inch-pounds per foot-pound, do math. And if you can't do math, just ask the internet, it'll tell you. So we get this last one buttoned up, and then we'll kind of walk around and see how they look. Okay guys, we're all done. So yeah, that really wasn't a terrible job. I think it looks real good. I'll cut a little footage of it. Couple of pro tips just to get through the job real easy. Really nothing. Shift peg is stupid easy. The brake pad just might not fit over the powder coat there, so you may just want to give that a little tap with a rubber mallet to get that seated and then get that bolt in there. For the floorboards, definitely can't use, you can take them off with a box end wrench, but you need a socket because it's countersunk, and it's a little fiddly getting the two spacer washers, they're kind of wave washers, on the back bolt. So definitely do the back bolt first and then the front bolt, because it's just, you want to have a little bit of play to wiggle around to get the board in place, and then the front bolt will be easy. So those are my pro tips. Flo Motorsports, they're awesome. They look really good. I'm gonna take the dog for a walk and then go give it a quick rip around town to see how they feel. They seem like a really quality product. Real happy with it. Real happy with the install. So thanks for watching. If you guys like the video and you find this kind of stuff interesting, give me a thumbs up. If you really like it, you can subscribe. That's great. We're growing the channel, and you know, we're in double-digit subscribers now, so go us. I do all the stuff myself. I edit. It's fun. It's a hobby. I like talking to y'all. So until next time, Salty Flyer here. You guys be good out there. Get riding. Do some fun stuff. Comment below if you had any different experiences, or you think I'm a complete jackass and I could have done it easier. I'd love to have the pro tech tips. Until next time, Salty. Peace.